Hello everyone and welcome to another video of my opinions about classical music. Today I'm talking about Quartet number 2 in A major, opus 13 by Mendelssohn, first movement. And this was recommended to me by What Is Life 743, so thank you so much for the recommendation. The recording I'm using today is by the Borromeo Quartet, and it's found on Wikipedia, on MSLP, and I will link it in the description as well as the link to the sheet music. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I would be really happy if you did so, and if you like this video, I would appreciate if you hit the like button, and maybe leave a comment if you have suggestions or just have something to say about my opinions. I want to start off by saying that I do not like this piece at all. I think it's messy. That's my main reason. It feels like he's just taken this one theme and then kind of thrown it around a bit and made a mess of it, and added something that will sound impressive but doesn't have any feeling behind it. And yeah, he's got some highlights. There's parts of this movement I really like, but for the most part I don't like the piece, and I will mostly talk about the parts I like. So to start up with the best part of the piece, the only really good part, and I really like this part, so it's kind of a shame that he doesn't do it this well with the rest of the piece. And the part I like is the first 16 bars, the opening of the piece. Let's just give that a quick listen and I will talk a bit about it after. So the first 4 bars, they are not really that special. He's just presenting the theme, the opening theme that he uses for the first 16 bars, and some parts later, but I will not be talking about those parts. And then we get to the highlight of the piece, the part I've highlighted in yellow. And why have I highlighted this yellow part, you ask? Well, it's because the chord that shows up here doesn't really fit in the A major scale Ren. The reason this chord does not fit is because of this one note, the A sharp that you can see right here. And what that A sharp does is that it makes the F sharp chord a major chord instead of a minor chord that it normally would be in A major. And it sticks out because it's not the chord you expect to hear. You're expecting to hear the A major that you got the last time you heard this theme, right? But now instead you get this disappointing cadence. But not really even a disappointing cadence. You get a disappointing cadence with a major chord at the end, which normally would make no sense at all, unless you look at the next chord. The next chord is a B minor chord, and as we know, or at least I know, the F sharp major chord is the dominant to a B minor chord. And all this sounds pretty technical, but the point is that Mendelssohn makes a kind of a turn into B minor for a little bit, which gives this part a bit of significance, as my first year music theory teacher would say. And then it looks like he's just going to continue with the same theme, but in B minor instead of A major. But that's not what happens. Instead, he takes the fragments of the original theme that he presented us with earlier, and he expands them, and sometimes repeats them, and sometimes just makes them slightly a different shape. And he does this until he hits bar 12. And in bar 12, he introduces the main theme of the piece. And no, he doesn't introduce the entire main theme. He introduces just a tiny little fragment of it. And I honestly wish he would have continued like that and just introduced tiny fragments until he actually built up to the whole theme. But that's of course not what happened. Instead, he just kind of repeats this tiny fragment 5 times before deciding he's done with having an opening and wants to go into the main theme right away, and spoils the whole opening. Before we go into how he spoiled the whole opening, let's talk a bit about the shape of this part. Because this part is kind of shaped like a pyramid or a mountain or a triangle, if you will. Ding ding, right? But on a more serious note, it's actually shaped a bit like a mountain or a triangle, going up to the highest point and then back down again. Let's listen again, and this time I want you to pay attention to how the first violin, the melody, goes all the way up to the highest point and then back down again. And then we get to the part where Mendelssohn ruins it all. Seriously, where the hell does this... I don't know, this trill, I guess, it's a notated trill, which is kind of weird, but where the hell does it come from? I mean, it doesn't have any trill before this, and I kind of get how he wants to build up to this 16th shifting between the instruments, which I think sounds kind of random and messy. And a bit out of place, honestly. But I don't see where he gets it from. It doesn't fit with the opening at all. He could have just removed the entire opening and had pretty much the same effect. And then, after that, he just suddenly introduces the main theme with no further preparation, apart from the tiny preparation we had in the opening, which is not enough preparation in my opinion. And all this after a pretty subito allegro vivace, and I just completely don't get where that comes from. To me, it feels like Mendelssohn wrote the first part and then he took it to his teacher, and when the teacher went like, "Oh no, this is not how you start a first movement," and then Mendelssohn was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you how a first movement is supposed to start," and then just suddenly changed the way he wanted to write it. And I mean, I'm probably nowhere near Mendelssohn's level when it comes to composing, but I find this pretty odd. And after that we have to actually scroll quite a bit before we hit another part I like about this piece. But there are more parts I like about this piece, and it's actually the same parts twice. For one of them, I like how this part here is repeated in the viola and the cello, and it comes twice. It comes a bit later as well. Let's listen to, I guess, both times this shows up. I marked it in yellow as well. And then there's this purple part I marked, and it's just a few bars before the second time the yellow theme from earlier showed up. And that's pretty much everything I like about this piece. I think it's really messy, and I think Mendelssohn has many more better pieces. So I'm really sorry, What Is Life 743? I didn't mean to be so mean about your suggestion, but I'm just giving my opinion. So that is everything for this time. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. If you disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment. I'll probably get back to you on that. Maybe you'll be able to change my opinion. I will definitely make a new video if you have some compelling arguments. Also let me know what pieces you want to see on this channel. Just check that it's available on IMSLP in the public domain, and that there is a recording I can use. And then just feel free. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.